What's going on, everyone, from LowKick MMA? My name is Dane Podolsky, and I'm joined with Victor Altamirano. He's set to return to the UFC Octagon on June 3rd when he takes on ranked Tim Elliott. Victor, thank you so much for taking the time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And first off, how are you doing? How's training been going? And how's the preparation come along for this fight?
It's going great. We it's a fast turnaround, about 2.5 months, maybe 3 months,
Mhm.
and we got offered this fight. We originally got offered a fight in July with a way lower ranked opponent, and we turned it down because I told everyone, "It's look, hey, I wanna make a move. I wanna go up. I wanna be in the rankings. I wanna fight people, who are up there." And so we declined the July fight, and then next thing we know, we got offered Tim Elliott, which we were not the original pick. We actually are filling in for Nacimiento. I'm not sure exactly if he's injured, whatever happened to him. I hope he's okay if he is. But they offered us Tim Elliott, and perfect. Let's take it. Short notice, a little bit, not exactly the whole 6 weeks, but we said we're there. Our goal is to be champion. Our goal is to go in the rankings, and we're going to take the opportunities that are given to us to do so.
And I was gonna say, it feels like this is a perfect situation for you coming off two wins, and now, even though it is short notice, you get a chance to get into those rankings. How much of like importance is that to you?
It's very important, but more importantly than it being important because of the opportunity, it's more important for me as a practitioner to be able to show myself, to be able to let myself know, prove to myself that I need to be prepared. I need to show up. I need to show out this day of the fight because, this opportunity is just not offered to everybody. And I have to take full advantage of this.
And again, you are taking this on short notice. It is, you still roughly 5 weeks to prepare, but it's not a full camp. How much does that, affect you in training?
Um, you know, as a professional, it should not affect you. Of course, as a person, it does a little bit. But we were just coming out of a fight in March, so we kind of were already in fight camp. And after that fight, we took about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks before we found out about this new fight. So yes, it is short notice, and kind of not because we were just exiting a fight camp.
Mhm.
So it's in kind of maybe so, maybe it's two fight camps back to it. Doesn't matter. What matters is that we were given this opportunity, and we got to do whatever we can. What we have to do to make sure that we take advantage of it, and we show up the day of the fight.
Have you gone to watch the film on Tim Elliott, and what stands out to you and what gives you the advantage over him?
Well, like I have seen some Tim Elliott footage. He's pretty good. He's very fast. He likes to keep a high pace. I do notice that his high pace weathers down throughout the second and third round, and he doesn't mean that he's not dangerous. It just means that his pace does slow down. But that's normal. Every fighter, it's really difficult to keep a high pace the entirety of the round. Although that is always the goal. So I think it's going to be a good match. He has amazing grappling. I have very accurate striking, very good striking. So it's going to be a match of timing, I would say.
Mhm. And so I have to ask, so Tim Elliott a few days ago came out on Twitter and uh, said that his wife, Gina Mazzani, now his ex-wife, was cheating on him. Did you see that at all? And what was your opinion on that if you saw it?
I didn't really see it. Someone sent it to me, and I actually didn't read the message. They said, "Hey, did you see the message I sent you?" And I saw it. Um, Man, that sucks. I'm sorry for him. I hope he's in a good place mentally. I wish him the best in his personal endeavors, and I hope it's really difficult to get ready for a fight as it is when it comes to your workout, your training, and everything has to just be good. And I'm sure he's struggling a little bit, but you know what? At the end of the day, Tim Elliott's a fighter. We are fighters. That's what we fucking do. Whatever life throws at you, you stand up, you take the dust off, and you say, "What's next? Come on, let's go. I'm standing." So, my best regard to Tim Elliott regarding his personal endeavors, but I know he's a fighter, so he's gonna come out strong regardless.
Mhm. Fair enough. I think I'd say the same thing in that best of luck to him in his personal endeavors. And that sucks, the situation. It sounds like he called out his wife for cheating on him on his wedding day, and that just going through a fight camp and find that out, that sucks. So a little shout. I'll give a little shout out to Tim Elliott. But going back to you, the rise of Mexican fighters in the past year has been just incredible. Rodriguez is a champion, Alexa Grasso is a champion, Brandon Moreno got his belt back. Seeing all that's gone down with that, how does that inspire you?
Inspires me. Yeah, it inspires me in a way that, it reminds me that those are my people. These are my people. I am from that blood. I am from that line. I am from that country. For many years, Mexico has been known to be great at boxing. And MMA, as new as a sport as it is now making its way to Mexico, a country that it's not foreign to combat, not foreign to fighting. And I think that it's doing great. It's just very exciting to be part of this wave of Mexico and Mexican fighters who are saying, hey, we exist and we are prominent in all combat sports. And MMA is pretty relatively new as not as old as boxing, but Mexico as a country, as their athletes are growing, they're taking more interest in this sport, and they're showing up and showing out, and here we have it.
Have you gone to train with any of those champions and or have a relationship with any of the Mexican champions right now?
I did a brief podcast with Brandon Moreno a few years back. Aside from that, I haven't unfortunately gotten the opportunity to train with them. I would love to. I know that we've messaged each other a few times, not the champions, but other Mexican fighters, and we're planning on getting together. And it's just difficult because of locations, people's fight camps. I may have a fight, they may have a fight. I may be available to travel, they may not be available to travel. Unfortunately, it's just difficult to coordinate. But any chance that I get, any chance that we may be able to coordinate something, we're gonna take it and we're gonna try to train together. It's always great to do so.
And I'll ask you about, that one fight is Brandon Moreno's got a fight with Alexandre Pantoja coming up for the title. How do you see that fight going down? And that's in your division too.
In my division, dang. It's a good fight. I think Pantoja has really good grappling. Brandon also has good grappling. Pantoja is really known for his aggressive pursuit of submissions, and Brandon's known for being versatile, whether it be a submission or whether it be in striking. So, I think it's a good matchup because, it could go either way. It really could. And I'm just excited to see another opponent step up to the belt. I really didn't want to see Figueroa Moreno number 5. I really didn't want to see number 4. And, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I don't know if many other people wanted to see number 4. But it happened nonetheless. And now we have another person, another up and comer, Pantoja. So we'll see. We'll see what beholds for everyone in the sport and the division.
Mm-hmm. And so, your last fight, it was kind of in your backyard of where you train of Texas. This time you're going back to the Apex. How does that compare, being at the Apex this time instead of in front of the fans?
Well, I did fight at the Apex already twice for the Dana White's Contender Series and for my debut. Won one, lost one. It's really good. It's just different. At the end of the day, you're there to do a job. You're a professional fighter. So despite of what you may think, despite of what you may want, despite of whether you want to fight here or not, it doesn't matter. You have to set that aside and put yourself in the purpose of what you're there to do. And that is to fight regardless of any circumstances. It's just the Apex is a little smaller. A good thing about fighting there is that we have more access to the PI. So it helps great with cutting weight, preparing. We already have a great place to train during fight week. So it's good. It has its ups and downs. The cage is a little smaller. Some people like that. Some people don't. And some people draw their energy from the crowd. Some people don't. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about being versatile. It's all about being adaptable. It's all about being able to work with what you got, fight your way through it, and come out with the win.
And so you train at a smaller gym in Texas at Double Mid. Do you think that gives you an advantage that there's more sort of personal focus on you instead of being at a larger gym?
I think so. Yeah, I think that the most important part about any fight camp for really any fighter is that your training partners and your coaches care about you. They care about your performance, and they care about making sure that you're doing great. And not just me, but whoever has an upcoming event. My gym right now is a very competitive gym when it comes to the jiu-jitsu scene. So every time somebody has a tournament, and usually it's more than one, we just focus on making sure that they're ready. Um, I am one of the only, I think I'm the only MMA fighter out of there. And so I've been receiving great welcome and amazing training partners, grapplers from all levels, Division One wrestlers, and current world champions in jiu-jitsu. So as far as grappling goes, they're amazing. They're amazing. So we all care about each other. And most importantly, we care about the sport as a whole. And I think that is very important because without that, then everybody just does it for themselves and they stop contributing to what really matters to the future generations. That is what's going to carry on the legacy of the sport.
Fair enough. I think definitely I've heard both sides. I've heard, the big gym, you get all the big partners and the big name coaches, but then the small gym, you get more focus on you. So I think it's kind of a win-win either way, and you do what works for you. And it sounds like you found a home there at your gym. So I'm happy for you for that.
Thank you.
On this fight card, it's headlined by two flyweights, Kai Kar
Oh,
from
that's right.
Amir Albazi. It's the first non-title fight flyweight main event in, I want to say, like 5 years. I saw us down. I don't have the exact number,
Yeah.
but does that kind of motivate you a little bit of like, I want to get on these guys' radar? Because the UFC does tend to put fighters who are on the same cards, they'll match them up again, like guys from the same cards on a later card. And so the fact that there's two top 10 flyweights in that main event, are you hoping to maybe get some eyes on you?
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that what the UFC does?
Yeah, a lot of the time they'll have fighters from like the same card. They'll mix and match opponents if it makes sense. So
Yeah.
maybe, if you win this fight, again, I'm not Mick Maynard, I'm not Sean Shelby, but maybe if you beat Tim Elliott, you can make that obviously puts you in the rankings, and being on the same card as Akara France and Amir Albazi, it kind of puts you on the radar a little bit.
Oh, you're right. Well, yeah, that's awesome. That's even more exciting. That we're definitely looking forward to that. And of course, as a practitioner, I'll be keeping my eyes on those future fights and those fighters, and making sure that we are ready for whatever else to come.
Mm-hmm. And so, what are your goals for the end of 2023? Assuming all goes well and you beat Tim Elliott, where do you go from there?
Our goal is to make sure that we're in the rankings. Our goal is to make sure that we jump up to being at least in the top 20, maybe in the top 10. And we want to make sure we keep working, fighting top opponents, and making sure we put our name on the map. I want to be, just fighting for big names, big stages. Make sure that I put my name and Mexico on the map even farther than it already is. So my goal for this year is to make it to the rankings and stay there.
Fair enough. Well, Victor, I'm wishing you all the best. And just my final question: June 3rd, Victor Altamirano, Tim Elliott. Victor, how's this fight go down?
It's going to be a scrap. It's going to be a scrap because this guy has high pace in grappling. I have high pace in striking. And then we're both really well acquainted at each other's other realms. He hasn't been neglecting his striking. I haven't been neglecting my grappling. And yet our our specialty are the opposites. So it's going to be an amazing fight. People are going to be really wanting to see this fight.
Couldn't have said better. This is not one you're going to want to miss. Guys, Victor Altamirano takes on Tim Elliott on June 3rd. Should be a fantastic fight. Victor, best of luck to you, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Danny. Have a wonderful day.
You too, man.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.